Back with another episode of Chef's Kiss. It's me, Peter, from Sheffield Shuffler. What's up, guys? We are doing State of the Phillies. Now, sometimes I come on here by myself to talk about the Phillies, because that's my team. So if you're not interested in the Phillies, this episode's not for you. If you are, we're just going to talk some shit, okay? So, we are 28 games into the season right now. 28 games into the season. It is April 29th. Oh, dude, I farted right before I pressed record and I smell it, and it is fucking disgusting, dude. Usually I like them. My God, it stinks. State of the Phillies, game 29 tonight. Today is April 29th. I will be at the game playing the Nationals. Phillies are 15-13 on April 29th today. Today's topics, we're going to keep it nice and short. We're doing pros and cons. Seth Johnson moving to the bullpen. Nola, dominant start versus the Cubs. Phillies swept by the Mets. And then this week's preview for the Nationals and the DBacks. So, Phillies took on the Cubs and the Mets this week. And it was nothing short of disappointing. The Mets series. Well, let's go like this. We'll go through the topics one at a time. We'll do pros and cons. We'll play pros and cons. Pros. Phillies take the series against the Cubs. Okay? Cubs are a very good team. Cubs are like the Phillies in the fact that they can and should put up runs and should slug, but they just have a shitty bullpen, right? Cubs, third best slug in baseball, a 444 slug for their entire team. That's the third best in baseball. Who has a second best slug in baseball? Arizona Diamondbacks, and we play them this week. So another good test for the Phillies is going to be when they face the Diamondbacks this week. Diamondbacks have the second best slug in baseball. Cubs, third best slug in baseball, and the Phillies really, they kept the Cubs honest when it comes to generating a shit ton of runs. Nola had a phenomenal start. 7 innings of 1 run. Baseball, Phillies can't really get him any run support. So pro, going into this week, you take a series from the Cubs, who are one of the best teams in baseball. Shout out to the Cubs over there. Chicago Cubs. They're one of the best teams in baseball. So going into this week, after you get swept by the Mets, it is a positive momentum that you want. And it wasn't pretty. At no point I was like, man, this looks good. Didn't generate a lot of runs. Bullpen, still shaky. But they got wins. And at the end of the day, winning is all that matters. So it didn't look good. Romano. People are saying, is Romano back? Nah, dude. Hell no. I need to see way more out of Romano before I have an inkling that he's back or he can, handle any kind of workload. Right now, Jordan Romano has a 12.19 ERA in 10 and a third innings pitched. Okay? He also has 6 walks, 3 home runs, and 14 earned runs. 14 earned runs in 10 innings pitched. So, no, I don't trust him. We'll put that under con. So we're doing pros and cons. I'm going out of order here. Fuck it, I don't care. So that'd be a con. Jordan Romano, yeah, he closed out that game against the Cubs. Awesome, dude. You should be able to do that. But I still have zero faith in him. I need to see a lot more out of Jordan Romano before I even believe that he's back or is capable of closing out high leverage game, close game, even a wide margin, right? Another con. We'll just keep going. Phillies bullpen. Carlos Hernandez. Bro, Carlos Hernandez, listen, I'm not here to fat shame people because I am chubby myself. But Carlos Hernandez looks like fucking me on the mound, dude. He does not look like a major league player. 7.2 ERA in 10 innings pitched. 2.10 whip. Bro, 7 walks. Okay? 2 homers, 8 earned runs. Jose Ruiz, can't trust him. 10 innings pitched, 6 earned runs. So those 3 guys, Ruiz, Hernandez, and Romano, The Hispanics and the Italians really can't trust them in this bullpen right now. So those would be the cons. Those are the three guys on my shit list in the bullpen. So that would be a con. What else do I have here for what are the pros? All right, I said we're going into the series. They got a good win. They got a good series winning against the Cubs. We'll talk about Seth Johnson. So Seth Johnson plays for the Iron Pigs, Phillies AAA team, right? He's a starting pitcher, was a starting pitcher, and now he's going to move into the bullpen. So we'll put this under a pro category. The Phillies being proactive when it comes to issues being addressed right now, right? Because right now the Phillies have the second worst bullpen ERA in baseball. Who's number one? Washington Nationals, and we're playing them 3-game series this week. Nationals have the worst bullpen in baseball. What does that mean? Phillies, if you don't score runs in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, you're not doing your job, okay? Because tonight, Mackenzie Gore is going to give you 6 innings. He's giving you 6 innings. He waxed the Phillies in the opening game, 13 Ks, 6 innings. Guy pitches 6 innings almost every outing. So you're going to get 6 innings. 7, 8, 9, got to get runs in those innings. Washington, 7.3 ERA from their bullpen. 7.3 ERA from the Nationals bullpen. The worst in baseball. Second worst, Philadelphia Phillies. And then right after that, Chicago Cubs. So, worst 3 bullpens in baseball. Nationals, Phillies, and Cubs. Terrible bullpens. So, looking ahead to this series, the Phillies really need to attack those later innings and better put up runs in those innings. What I was saying, we'll call this the pro category, right? Seth Johnson. So, Seth Johnson plays for the Iron Pigs, like I said. He was a starting pitcher, and now the Phillies are converting him to the bullpen. They're moving him to the bullpen. They did an interview with him. He was like, I thought I was getting traded, had to pack my shit up and move all around again. But they want to move him to the bullpen, right? He's got like 2 good pitches. So it's, you're going to be more successful coming out of the pen than you would as a starting pitcher. So Phillies addressing issues right now, which you love to see. They're making moves. They're looking at their farm system and saying, hey, we're stacked on starting pitching right now. We don't necessarily need a back end of the rotation guy. Let's move him to the bullpen and see what we can get out of him. His velocity was up. He is having trouble with control. He does walk. They're kind of working on his walks, trying to get those down. He's got good stuff. His velocity was up. He was talking about his mentality from going from the bullpen or going from a starting pitcher to the bullpen. So, hey, that's the kind of stuff you want to see. They're not sitting on their thumb up their ass. Like, what are we going to do? We're going to wait till July, till the trade deadline. They're going to their farm system and they're making adjustments. So, Seth Johnson, maybe a move to the bullpen sometime in the near future. I don't know. Maybe not. Hopefully, because we can use them. Like I mentioned, those 3 relief pitchers that we have right now are dog water. Aaron Nola, dominant start versus the Cubs. 7 innings pitch, 1 earned run. Phillies couldn't get him any run support. Poor guy. Had a very bad start to the season, and then has a very dominant start against the Cubs in a colder weather game. Knowles kind of really shines when it starts getting warmer. Velocity ticks up. So that was great to see that we got to see a vintage start from Aaron Nola. Control, dominant. I mean, he's not ringing it up there in velocity, obviously, but just the control, changing eye movements, levels from a hitter's perspective, moving up and down. Just really good to see from a pitcher pitching to one of the best slugging teams in baseball. So kept the ball in the yard. Like I said, just 1 run in 7 innings pitched, which was awesome. Let's talk about the Mets series. Phillies got swept by the Mets. Phillies showed no fight in that series. Now, I know baseball is different, and you can't really, it's not like football where there's, shouting and fighting and stuff like that. But when you get spanked, right? When you're getting blasted. All right, I'll keep it PG here. When you're getting blasted, right? And it's from a division rival, from a rival. I want to see some kind of fight, some kind of aggression, some kind of want. And the Phillies just they just rolled over and they just took it. They just took it from the Mets. And I make a lot of Phillies content, right? So these guys, dude, saving videos that I did as soon as those games end. Score, check up, talking shit. I'm like, God dang it, dude. These guys are determined. Shout out to those guys that save my videos and then come back to them when the Phillies lose, because that takes dedication. And I appreciate the engagement. But yeah, it's crazy. So I would like to see some kind of fight. We don't get that from Topper, right? He's very even keel. Oh yeah, he thought he looked good tonight. I think he's gonna come around. Blah blah blah. That shit kind of just pisses me off sometimes, and those times are when you get your ass kicked by a division rival. All right, and hey, listen, I'm one of the most level-headed Phillies fans. Okay, because I adopted this team, so I have some outside perspective. I am very level-headed when it comes to this team. So I understand it is April. It's going to be the end of April. We're about to head into May, very early in the season, right? That doesn't mean the product that we have been watching has not been good, right? It doesn't mean it's not going to change, but I want to see something, some kind of fight, some resolve, and that could come in like we saw in the Cubs series. Runs late in the game, that, fighting, putting up runs late in the game. If you're not going to show it on the field with, your mannerisms, show it with your play. So it's just, it's hard to watch your team get beat and then just show zero emotion. I don't know who, I know Schwarbs is a locker room leader. Harper, Castellanos, Remilto. But it doesn't really seem like there's like a vocal leader. There's nobody riling the troops up. And maybe it's because it's early. Maybe it's because I don't know. It's just maybe not in their DNA. I thought it was 2022. I thought, it was about vibes and rhythm and synchronicity and all that kind of stuff. The juice is flowing. I just haven't seen it yet from a lot of players, from most players. So, Mets, man, it always sucks to get swept, especially from your division rival. But again, it's early, and really, it only matters in October. So, this week, I'm going to the game tonight. I'm very excited. Going with Smooth Group, my buddy Austin, DJ Smooth. He invited me to go with a bunch of his buddies. They all are DJs for the Phillies. My buddy Tonka, Austin, they're all DJs for the Phillies. So we're going to be going there tonight. This week, Phillies play the Nationals. They play the Diamondbacks. Again, Nationals. This was one thing I wanted to bring up as well, okay? Run differential from the Phillies' perspective. Run differential is the amount of runs you scored versus the amount of runs you allow, right? If you had to guess where the Phillies at right now, 0. Plus, minus 0. They're even. They have given up 124 runs and they've scored 124 runs. Mets are at plus 50. Mets have scored 50 more runs than they've allowed. Yankees, Cubs, Giants, Tigers, these guys are all around plus 40. So that should give you an idea of where you should be at this point. If you are comparing yourself to other teams and your offense and your defense, Phillies are at 0 right now. They're giving up the same amount of runs that they are allowing, or they're scoring. So that should just give you a quick barometer of where they're at. But tonight, Mackenzie Gore versus Wheels. Now, Last time we saw Mackenzie Gore was opening day, right? I mean, he straight pounded him. I believe it was a career high. He then again matched it April 19th. But he had 13 strikeouts that game in 6 innings pitched. He only allowed 1 hit. So, I mean, he clapped the Phillies' cheeks opening day, March 27th. Since then, consistently been pitching 6 innings. 6 innings against the Dodgers, Miami, Colorado, Baltimore. He's given up a decent amount of hits. He gave up 30 hits in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starts this month. He's given up 30 hits and 13 earned runs in 5 starts. So, home runs, he's only given up 3 home runs in 5 starts this month with 40 strikeouts. Mackenzie Gore. Phillies had, I think, decent numbers against him because they see him so often. But, yeah, we'll see how this goes tonight. Like I said, you're going to get 6 innings out of Mackenzie Gore, and then you get to face the worst bullpen in baseball. So, if I need to see fireworks late. I need to see fireworks later in the game to have some, because this is what you should be doing, right? You should be beating the shit out of the nerds, right? The Washington Nationals are nerds. They're the worst bullpen in baseball. The Phillies aren't better. They're a second worst bullpen in baseball. So their hitters should be thinking James Wood, C.J. Abrams should be like, yeah, give me that fucking bullpen. Give me Carlos Hernandez. They should be thinking the same thing. So I would like to see runs later in this game. I'm expecting runs later in this game. That's how I see this one going. Wheels should be good. Mackenzie Gore, we've seen what he did already this year. Probably going to be good too. Later in this game, who has more resolve? Who has more fight? Who's more patient at the plate? Battle of the bullpens. Maybe that's what today's game is. Battle of the bullpens. So, that's it. Phillies need to win this series against the Nationals. You should, like I said, you need to be beating up on the nerds. Nationals are nerds. They're a pesky team. They are pesky. But you need to win series against inferior teams. We move on to the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks played them after this national series. Diamondbacks have the second best slugging percentage in baseball. Cubs are third. Where are the Phillies? Phillies are 22nd. 22nd in slug. Remember when this team used to slug? When we were like, we just slug. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not as of April 29th. 22nd best in baseball, which is not good. Diamondbacks, second best in baseball. So look for some runs in that series. Look for some runs in that series. Look for runs late in this series and then early next series. All right, guys, it's been 18 minutes. I think I've gotten everything I needed to say. Panic meter, you know where I'm at? I'm probably at like a 4 right now, 4 or 5. It's way too early to get too excited. Way too early to get too excited. It's April 29th. How many more days are in April? 30? Okay, so May 1st is the Thursday. Cool. 4 or 5 on the panic meter. I'm not very scared yet. It's too early. A lot of things can happen. I mean, look at the Dodgers. Dodgers, Glass now back on the IL. Blake Snell doesn't even have a time to return yet. I know they're super deep on their depth, but things happen during the year, right? You never know. You just want the journey to be fun. That's all I'm looking for. I mean, obviously you want World Series rings. That's the ultimate goal. But you just want this ride to be fun. I want to know the 3 hours I invest every single day are worth it. I'm going to see good baseball. So that's that. I will be at the Kentucky Derby. I am getting there Thursday. Saturday is the race. I'll be there till Monday. So look out for some Kentucky Derby content starting Thursday. I love you guys. Go Phillies. Go Cubs. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.